Hey everyone, this is Judi with JLBCrafts. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. In this video, I'm going to be setting up and hand lettering for the week of March 14th through the 20th. So a couple holidays this week to consider. St. Patrick's Day, of course, first day of spring. So I decided to go with something kind of bright and colorful, but pastel. Special treat, so these are stickers I made myself. This is on clear matte full sheet sticker paper. This is online label sticker paper that I bought off of Amazon, or you can buy it directly from Online Labels. I will have a link to it in the description box. But these florals are another, these are digital files that I purchased from a Ukrainian artist. The name of her shop is CrystalinaShop from Etsy. These are PNGs, so when you put them in Canva, which is my preferred program, and there is definitely, I use the free version, and I have all the flexibility I need. Each one is clear, so you can layer them on top of each other. That's basically what they're made for. So it's not going to take me very long. I designed these in very little time, just put enough on here to fill the page. This one, so what I did was I put my 2 pages here like this, just a super quick. I do have a video that goes into much more detail on A, how to search on Etsy to find Ukrainian content creators specifically, and then B, how to use those, how to unpack and use those files, which is why I didn't include that portion of it in this video. This is just what I went, how I used those files in that video. So I will link that in the cards up above. So, but all I did was put my 2 pages together, knowing I wanted a strip of florals down the center here, and measure how wide that space was. It's just shy of 2 inches. So and of course it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper because I have the big. If you have a classic, it's going to be 9 1/4. So I knew how tall it was. So I went into Canva and I drew my box that was about 2 inches wide by 11 inches tall, and then I just filled in the florals. So the cool thing about this particular set from that shop is that she's got each element individually, and then she's also got pre-made little bouquet clusters. So I just picked all the ones that had a lot of green in them and lined them all up to fit within that box and created that strip. So I knew I could put it down the center here and cut it in half. And then same thing with this one. You'll see some of the elements are the same, like this little cluster right here with the pink and the peachy is the same as this one. I just turned it a little different to keep it random. And this one is sized to go across the 2 tops of the pages. So enough hand waving, you all. I'm going to go ahead and just, and the Simply Gilded washi tape I chose is this nice minty with the rainbow foil that is, it's St. Patrick's Day from this year, so it might still be available on her site. I do have a link for that in the description box. If you sign up for her no spam newsletter, you will get 10% coupon for $5 off a purchase of $15 or more, and then I get that same coupon. And I know I say that every week, but I never know when I'm going to have somebody new watching. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my washi tape, as you can see, around the outside edge, and then I'm going to go down the center and across the top with my florals, and I will be back. And that, lucky for Jazpur, who wants some lunch, was easy and quick. So I'm going to go ahead and pull more little heart bullet points from my bullet point book. I will link how to make this in the cards up above. This is just, anytime I found a page that had a lot of bullet points, that was all or mostly bullet points, I went ahead and used that. I think I never used these, and I like that they're hearts. So maybe we'll use some of these in some pastel colors. So I want to go heavy on the green because I do want this to be somewhat of a St. Patrick's Day spread. So I can pick lots of green pens, maybe with just a pink or a peach thrown in. I will link my printer as well in the description box. I use a Epson Ecotank 3760, which I just absolutely love. And as you can see on quality print settings, it does a great job. So, all right, let's write in our assignments. So we'll do last week, or we will do the new letter first. So on the 14th we have, oops, and I don't want that pen, I want this one. We're going to do the letter V. And then we'll put it at the beginning of a word. So we have vino and vent. And on the 17th, view. There are a few words with V in the middle, but none really in the English language with a V at the end. So we have mauve, cave. Again, choosing the words strategically to make sure we cycle through all the letters that we've already learned so they stay fresh. And wove. Not a lot of planner specific words in here, but again, we have strategic reasons for picking the words that we pick. So there we go. I am going to pick my pens and zoom in and I'll be back. Okay everyone, I've chosen my pens. I have the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip. I just noticed, I finally was able to find it. It says hard tip right there because I had seen some stuff a couple of folks had posted about soft tip versus hard tip. Right there I can see I have the hard tip ones. I can see a color there too. It says green. Alright, so Fudenosuke is the style, Tombow is the brand. Next I have the Calligraph by Archer and Olive. And this is the dual-ended tip. This is the teal, which incidentally, they did come out with 2 new sets of calligraphs for the spring. I have them. This one is the Blossom collection. So there are the colors. And this one is the Flourish collection, and those are the colors. So good spring colors. I'm always looking to add to my, the only one I'm a little worried about is this one. I'm not sure, since these aren't opaque, they won't write on black paper, so I'm not sure about that one. But I'll do a pen test and we'll see it. All right, next I have the Pentel Touch Brush Sign Pen in kind of a peachy pink color. Since I wanted to keep this mostly green, I didn't want to pick a pink and a peach, or an orange, so I went with kind of halfway in between. And then last I have the Rytech sign brush pen as opposed to brush sign pen in kind of a halfway between lime and mint. So let's get started. I'm going to start with my ace drills just like always, and I will use the fat end of the calligraph wherever I can, where there isn't an ascender. So I think, let's see, we only have one word that has an ascender, vent, so I should be able to use that most of the time if I remember to leave myself room. Next is the calligraph, hitting the sticker. Next, the Pentel Touch. And finally, the Rytech. There we go. I think I'm going to change out the calligraph to a slightly lighter one. I think it'll go better with this color scheme. So I just switched to the mint instead of the teal. The meal? Okay, so let's look at the V. Letter V is actually just like the wavy stroke with a small finish stroke leading to the next letter. So our little connector, like I like to talk about. So I can already tell you I did not do this V. Just like the M and the N, I don't like this extra wave at the beginning of the letter, so I don't do that. Let's look at some of the alternates. So you can also make your decision. So here is the Tombow lettering practice worksheet, the free download. I have these linked. And there's the V, very simple, heavy down, light up, and a little connector. You'll notice none of the Tombow letters are slanted like I slant. And I slant because that's the way the first year of the Happy Planner book taught you to do it. They had everything very slanted. Here is one of the Crayola calligraphy books. Here's their V. So you can see they start with a dot. So at the midline, heavy down, light up, and then they do a big loop. Now, this may look familiar to you guys. This is actually almost my O. So I will not be doing that either because I don't want my, like if you write the word love, your O and your V are going to be almost exactly the same, which is fine. That may look just fine to you. I don't really like that look personally. Here is another one of the Crayola calligraphies. This one was a boxed kit. It was not a book. And here's the V there. So there, it's a little bit less like an O, but it's definitely something you can play with. The heavy down, light up with the loop to create the connector. If you're doing something like that with your W, that may, this style of V may fit right in. And then last but not least, the Calligraphy Made Easy that I purchased at Walmart, but I found it on Amazon as well. Here is their V. So this one looks almost a little bit like a bounce V because they're coming up so high to create that loop for the connector. And you can see their two V's aren't exactly the same. This one's a little taller and skinnier. This one's a little shorter and fatter. And you notice if you look really closely, when they come around on that loop, they actually do have a little bit heavier downstroke on that. I think that's pretty advanced, but it's definitely doable. And then for minuscules, remember, minuscule means lowercase. Alternatives. Is there a V? Nope, just XYZ. So those are your, well, those aren't your choices. Your choices are whatever you want them to be. But I am going to do my V as I have learned to do over the last year. So starting with the Tombow, I'm just going to go start at the midline, heavy down, light up, and then a little connector. And you can arc that, you can make it straight. I really honestly haven't landed on that yet. So, but play with it. Play with the different, do all the different styles and just see which one sparks for you. See which one you end up liking. And you may want to go with a V that's very similar to your W, half of a W, so that you have some continuity across your font that you're developing, basically. If your V, your two halves of your W are not very pointy, then you may not want your V to be very pointy either. Do I have the word wave on here? I have wove on here. Our last word is wove. So jump down there and put the V and the W in the same word early on, so to help you figure out what you want your V to look like. You can totally do that. Oops, I forgot to leave myself room to use the big end. Let me put one down here. There we go. They look a little funny when they're just by themselves. Don't let that deter you. Let's go ahead and put them now at the beginning of a word and just see if they start to look a little bit better to us. So our first word is vino. And here you have a V and an O in the same word. So if you wanted to play with the loop here, you can see if that makes them look too similar. Looking back, maybe I should have had wove and vino as my first couple of words to help you, but you can do them in whatever order you want. So I like mine. I feel like my V connects, and I feel like it looks different from the O, so I'm happy with it. See if I can remember to use the fat end this time. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. So trying to remember to come out of my O nice and low. And I am playing with a little bit more of a hook here coming out of the V as opposed to these more straight ones, because I feel like the hook there matches better with the hook connectors when they're all the way down at the baseline. I feel like that there's a little more continuity there for me personally. So, okay, let's try vent. So just trying to figure out where to start your E so that when you come around on your fat, your heavy downstroke, you just catch the tip of that connector on the V. Oops. The cats do not need to go to the vet this week. I'm not sure where my N went, but since it's all I have room for, let's do it again. So with a little bit of experimentation and practice, you'll learn where to start your E. For me, basically, it's just wherever I leave off on the tail, I start my E just a little space below it. And then they end up lining up about right. I'm noticing too that putting a little wave in the tail also helps kind of pick up the wave that's in the cross on the T. Okay, here we go, a V and a W in the same word, so view. Maybe having the V will help you like the W more, or if you hate your W, maybe you'll hate your V as well. I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below. Oh, I didn't leave myself enough room, I forgot. Oops, almost made that a W. All right, more than halfway. So now we're gonna have V kind of in the middle. There are, again, not with the letters that we know, there are no words that I could pick that ended with a V. If you wrote the word improv, for example, but we don't know the P and we don't know the R's. So here we'll have an M and a V in the same word. So if you're playing with whether or not to have this opening into the letter, this will be a chance to look at that. I guess we had the N earlier too, so. Can get a little lost in all of this right here. Just go slow and you'll get there. I think that looks like the word mauve. My eye doesn't get too lost in there. If I make these curved enough and this pointy enough. That last one got a little bit squished. Okay, let's try cave. I think it's a soft pen day for me. I'm having trouble getting my heavy downstrokes wide with the hard tip pen today. All right, we're doing cave, like man cave. I'll have to try to remember to include shed once we know all those letters for the she shed. Big end, almost forgot again. Alright, and our last word, you get the W and the V in the same word again with wove. And here we can play with both of our connectors. So whatever you end up choosing, a super pointy, a more rounded, or kind of halfway in between, which is where I gravitate toward. Same thing with your tail. If you do a curve, how far, how low you come out, or whether you come straight out. With the W and the V, I think you want your second half of your W to look exactly like another V. And that's going to give you the consistency to make this look polished and practiced. Oh, and I didn't leave myself room again. We'll just squeeze a V on there. Jazzy. Just let me finish, okay? Come on, I got like 1.5 lines to go. He's sitting here straddling. He's right here, straddling my arm. And purring, of course. I feel like my letters are spreading way out, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why, Jesse. Oops, I made the mistake of talking to him and he stood up. Just let me finish, okay? Not even 5 more minutes. Sorry for the shadow. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna zoom out and you guys can see Jazpur sitting here. Blocking my light. All right, let's put it in my planner and then we'll compare to a year ago. Excuse me. Watch your toes. What do you think, Jazzy? Look pretty good? It's pretty. I love that color combination. All right, let's look at V for me a year ago. So last year we did wave instead of wove. They're pretty similar. I was doing my ace drills for warm-up by then. Here, vent and vent. That one stayed the same. So there you can see a comparison of the 2 years. not bad. Not bad. You have to let me know in the comments. I'm normally a firm pen person, but every once in a while I find myself having better luck with the softer pens, and I think today was a soft pen day. So let me know if you have the same going on for you. Anyway, there is another week down. We're headed toward the second half of March, if you can believe it. And I need to start thinking about April words already. Oh my goodness. So I hope you're still with me. I hope you like this video. I hope you're having better luck with your W's and your V's, your M's and your N's. If you do like this video, continue to tag me on your practice on Instagram so I can keep putting them in my stories. I hope that it helps those of us that are struggling to keep up to, or just with motivation to see other people practicing, doing the same thing. We're all in this together. Hopefully that helps. So keep tagging me. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.